That's what you did. If you hurt somebody's family, whoever you hurt, their family comes back to get you. It's just river justice.
Almost 100 years ago, an Arkansas girl made national headlines for taking the law into her own hands. But for those living in houseboats along the White River in the 1900s, justice was swift and often an eye for an eye.
Neil Zarag digs into the story of an Arkansas folk hero story who a whole group of people want pardoned.
In Dewitt, Arkansas, in 1931, there was judge, jury, but an 18-year-old was the executioner.
She stands up in the courtroom and said, you know, you killed my daddy, and shot him in the courtroom.
Just before deliberation, Helen Spence killed Jack Worls for allegedly murdering Cicero Spence on a fishing tour, leaving her parentless.
That's what you did. If you hurt somebody's family, whoever you hurt, their family comes back to get you. It's just river justice.
The girl grew up on a White River houseboat in Clarendon and St. Charles, Arkansas. River people harvested mussels or, like Cicero, supported their family hunting and fishing, skills Helen learned alongside her dad.
She could hunt, she could fish, and she knew how to take care of herself. Everybody in town knew who she was because she was so beautiful.
Helen's mugshots and her killing made national headlines, even featured on the front page of the New York Times.
She laughed. She laughed in the face of doom. That's what river people do.
Convicted of manslaughter for Worls' death and later paroled by a Lonoke County landowner, she worked under him for less than a month before she ran away. Quickly, she confessed to a separate unsolved murder she had been cleared of and went back to the State Farm for Women in Jacksonville to serve a 10-year sentence.
I've never figured out why she confessed and wanted to go back to the pea farm. What could possibly have happened in that short period of time that made her want to go back to jail?
For more than a year in prison, Helen became an escape artist, once even sewing a tablecloth-made dress under her uniform to slip a guard in Memphis.
The whole system was getting embarrassed by this little 5 foot 1 inch, 130-pound girl, size 5 shoe. And they couldn't corral her. River people are like water. If one way is blocked, they will find a way around.
Each time she was caught, the warden had her whipped and put in solitary, but her last escape ended with the 22-year-old shot behind the ear and killed instantly. Local legend says river people stole her body where she sat in an unmarked grave known only by a cedar sapling. Shortly after Helen was killed, the pea farm was disbanded, but if you go to where it once stood, you'll find streets named after the women who went there, and other pieces of the history aren't far away.
We looked for reclaimed wood, and then we found this prison.
Andrea Wilson owns the Pea Farm Bistro, which opened in 2017. The restaurant not only shares the namesake of the prison miles outside Cabot, but also Helen's story.
At lunchtime, people would sit up here and you'll just see them reading a story, or if they finish half of it, they'll come back and finish the rest of the story.
A story that is evolving over the past 10 years with a book, a film, and a tombstone now placed on Helen's grave. Most of those developments can be credited to author Denise White Parkinson, a daughter of the White River herself, who says when Helen died, the river people's way of life soon followed.
We were exiled from the only place that ever meant anything to me.
Back in Helen's day, this entire section of the White River looked like a trailer park on water, but now there are only 4 river boats in St. Charles. The rest of the river access is owned by the federal government. The year after Helen died, Congress made the Lower White River a national wildlife refuge, and the houseboat owners were told to move or be moved.
Our family had 2 houseboats. They were both destroyed.
Michelle Jenkins still lives in St. Charles, constructing a houseboat on the only piece of private property she can. Unable to fight the law like Helen, river people still look up to her when they look down on her grave.
Times change, and the people in the Delta and the river people, they had to change with the times. There wasn't nothing that they could do about it. They just had to do what they could do to survive.
And for their female folk hero, they ask one more thing to right what they feel is a history of wrongs, a pardon from Arkansas's first female governor.
Helen was a one of a kind. I've never heard another story like this.
She was just young, and she probably didn't know how to react.
There are river people living in exile all over this state. She served her time. Why can't she be pardoned?